TakeSpace podcast, first episode of many. I'm going to try to be super consistent with you guys. Try to give you guys 2 to 3 a week. Come on here, talk evolution. Come on here, talk saving. Come on here, talk literally just becoming a better version of yourself, higher vibration of yourself, becoming closer to your higher self, and literally just reprogramming the subconscious mind, techniques, ways of thinking, and our perspectives of just life. Yeah, let's get. I say we get right into it. It's my boy Gabriel Daniel. Ayo is good. Is his name on social vibes. You guys want to find him? We'll have everything in the description and all of that nature. We're gonna get right into it. The first topic that we have for today, we got managing and watching thoughts. So the way I want to bring this into today's time is probably a lot of people slash families which are used to thinking in a certain way. They're used to, going about things in a certain perspective and a certain approach that to where even if it's not benefiting them anymore, they're so used to just stepping into that approach because it's so second nature and not being so mindful and watching what they're actually doing. So things being more of a second nature and living almost in the same aspect as like a robot almost, just literally doing things off the rip. So I find myself, if anything, like at night doing either stuff in my face or watching a show or something in that nature where I probably could have been putting in a little more work towards something that I'm doing on the side or doing a little bit more of a study of something that could help me either have a better tomorrow or just have a better life in general. So I would say something in the nature of doing things differently at night, so not doing the same routine that night and doing something that my higher self would want me to do. Daniel, what is your thoughts on that? So we're talking to managing and watching thoughts, not coming off like a robot and just doing things the way you're used to doing them.
Okay. So like your example, I could give like something similar to that,
Hmm.
right? I'll say one of mine is like, let's see, I could give an example from today, right?
Yeah.
So like a routine of mine,
Hmm.
right? Like what I normally do is like at nighttime I tend to like just scroll on my phone sometimes. Sometimes it's just like thoughtless motion, just mindlessly scrolling through it. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of a bad habit of
Hmm.
mine, but it's something I do gotta work on and be like more mindful of. Which I
100%.
know I try to like cut it off here and there, but
Hmm.
most of the time I tend to like feed back on and keep feeding that negative side of me. But uh, besides that, yeah, that's what I have to give on that notion.
Okay. What would you say would be something that you could probably do different in that time instead of doing the mindless scroll? What is something that you could probably do different in that time so that way the next morning you could probably have a accelerated start or you could be somewhere closer to your higher self the next morning based off of something you did differently the night before. What is something you feel you could do differently other than the mindless scrolling?
Great question. Something I've improvised lately is meditating at night. I think that's really helpful, really helpful actually. Um, I say like if you're like beginning, I would say go with like calm, something like easy, like a step to step guide on YouTube. Couple of breathing, like 1 2 minutes at night.
Okay.
Do that, bro. You do that. You do that every night for a week straight, 1 or 2 minutes. Bro, I'm telling you, that's the next morning you're gonna feel like a brand new person. Your mind's gonna be cleared up. Especially, wait, don't forget this part. Especially if when you rise in that AM, you don't go right on your phone.
Okay, there we go.
Because that's another thing that delays your progression.
Okay, there
Is
we
like
go.
and whatnot.
Okay, so instead of the thoughtful scrolling, you have either taken a deeper breath in that time. Is there something productive that you would do in that time instead of the scrolling to give
Yeah,
yourself maybe a head start the next day or just a head start in life in general?
yeah, of course. Like right here, I have like my kind of like my journal. I write like thoughts, things I want to get done and whatnot. I
Okay,
don't get most of it done. I'll be honest. I'm not freaking perfect, but I
100%.
try to knock out most of it.
Okay, okay,
You
okay.
know? But a lot of times I don't knock out everything, but most of the time I try to knock out a few of it. And as long as I can keep repeating that process and keep slowly fulfilling that list,
Hmm.
I feel great. I feel great. I feel accomplished. I feel like my time's being used properly,
There we go.
and
There we go.
it's just better overall.
Okay, there we go. So that's the aspect of managing and watching thoughts and not coming off as robotic. To just know to do those different approaches than you're used to doing, and then little by little just taking the steps to not give so much energy into fighting off the old, not giving it so much energy of fighting off the reprogramming, but to use that energy and put it towards showing up new. You know what I mean? So that's almost like the getting back into the moment aspect. Get it back into the moment and just doing what needs to be done right now. So that's the take on managing and watching thoughts. That was good vibes. That was good energy. Good things. So the next one we have down is using obstacles as opportunities. So the same thing as almost being from a bad neighborhood or whatever, instead of dwelling into the neighborhood and becoming what the neighborhood is, like what the neighborhood is known for statistically making people, or coming off of the perspective of survival mode because of this neighborhood, is to use these feelings as opportunities. So if this is a neighborhood of plenty of robberies, plenty of gunshots, plenty of things of that nature, I need to use the fact that I want to get the heck up out of here. I need to use that as a fuel for me to do way better, to show up way better, so that way I can use this as an opportunity instead of using this to defeat me. And now I'm using this as an opportunity. Now I'm showing up better, and now I'm able to step into a brand new perspective. I'm able to step into a brand new environment mentally, and now I'm on this frequency mentally. Now the environment around me is going to change. I'm not coming off of what this neighborhood or what this environment is statistically bringing up. I'm coming off different because I'm using these challenges, instead of coping or running away from these things. I'm using these challenges as fuel to show up better. So if I want to do something in professional sports, if I want to do something with content creation, if I want to do something with business wise, instead of me being like, oh, this neighborhood I'm from, it's just not possible. Where I'm from, it's not possible. Things are just 10 times harder here. I need to use these things as ways and as fuels for my engine to just uplift and become better. So an example would be like if when I was residing in Patterson, it wasn't really that bad for me because I was inside most of the time, but I did hear things, I did see whatever the case may be, and that would just be enough to, one, stay inside and not take part in that and just become my own best self, so that way I could get out of this environment or show up as the man I need to be that is not into this environment. So I would either, instead of coping or doing whatever the case is may be, doing things of YouTube and that nature, doing things of, at the time I was literally big on YouTube. That was like when I was way younger. The giving my energy to YT instead of like coping or being a part of this environment. You have like anything that you could probably say, maybe in your environment or towns and places that you lived in, how did you take action to be able to either outgrow that environment or to be able to put yourself into a better environment?
Okay. I actually really like that question
There we go.
because uh, so a little like background check on my side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before I'm like living where I am right now, right? Where I used to stay in Newark,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a little sketchy area in a way, right?
100%.
Every now and then you hear like gunshots, drive-bys, things like that, people getting robbed. That and that, bro. As a young man, especially being like the race that we are, black,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, it kind of like feeds off in a, like a negative way, right? It's like, oh, they're used to that, that's what they do. That's what we're labeled as, like so-called bad images, right?
Yeah, hundred
But
percent.
you can use how I use it as is like, okay, this is happening. I know this is what's going on, but I'm not gonna let that stop me because I know I don't belong here.
Hundred
Like
percent.
I'm naturally, I know I'm like a outgoing person, peaceful person.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think I'm more clairvoyant every now and then. So
Mm-hmm.
I tend to feel and operate better in a peaceful environment. So um the point I'm trying to make is, right,
Mm-hmm.
instead of dwelling in it, like, oh my gosh, maybe I gotta run or do things like that. You just say, like, okay, I gotta get my family out of here. I gotta get my shit together. What do I have to do to, what I'm saying, get out of here?
There we
Like,
go.
I don't have to stay here. Like this is not where I belong. This is not where it ends for me.
Hmm.
Like I could always things could always get better. This is not. I'm saying this is not my end all be all.
There we go.
So we worked towards it, saved up, moved out of there. Now we're in a better place.
There
It's a
we
lot
go.
more. It's a lot more peaceful here,
Hmm.
quiet. I'm more clear minded. I don't have
Okay.
to worry about freaking shootings and whatnot.
There we
You know what
go.
I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
If I order a package from Amazon, I don't gotta worry about someone taking it, something like that. You feel me?
Yeah, come outside,
And
shit going.
yeah, and
Uh-huh.
it's and even to like take it a little further, like
Hmm.
on a day-to-day basis, think about it. Just getting out the bed itself is like an obstacle for some people. But if you look at it in this way, like, okay, if I get up now, right? I get up now. I knock
Hmm.
out what to do in the next 1 or 2 hours. I don't know what people's job occupation is. Maybe you work from home, work at an office. If you
Hmm.
get up early, let's say your routine is getting a coffee and whatnot, and then you go to work, you knock that out, you come back, you know what I'm saying? You come back, you feel accomplished that you got up early, you got your work done, now you're home, you can use whatever time you have left to be creative. Let's
There you
say,
go.
let's say like, let's say it happens to be a job you don't really appreciate that much.
Yeah.
That time that you get after work, you can put into something you're actually looking forward to doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, that's my part on that take.
For people that do, what would you say for people that are going to work, right? They are going to work and they do have an idea or something that they really want to execute, but when they get home from work, they're just so drained, they're so tired, they have no energy to put into this secondary either side gig or this business, because that's why Americans get stuck into that loop. They have the drive, they have these things, but then it's like, oh, they leave work and then it's like I'm so drained from the rat race, I don't have the energy to do these things, and that's what keeps them in that cycle. Because like, I'm comfortable going to that job and I'm comfortable with what they're giving me on the ceiling, which is nothing wrong if you genuinely are enjoying it. If you genuinely are enjoying it, this is something that your heart is really with, there is nothing wrong with that at all. But what advice would you give to people that are going to work, that do want to have the business and just don't have the energy after the shift?
So I look at it like this, right? I'll use myself an example. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I come home, I'm tired because I'm not gonna say my job, but my job is pretty draining.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get home, depending on the day, if I went to the gym as well, it's like I'm totally beat, and I don't feel like streaming, but it's like I think towards my future self. I mean, which I shouldn't, but in a way, I'm using it the right way. Like I think towards my future self, like the man that is married with a kid or whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That future me, like would I want to be at that point where, oh, I just I just said made excuse like, okay, I got home, I was tired, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I'm tired. Like, am I gonna accept that to get to that point, or I could think of it in a better way. It's like if I do the work now, when I get there, things I'm either on to the next thing, or I'm expanding whatever that is at the moment.
There we go.
You know what
Word.
I'm saying?
100%. 100%. The
So,
way, are you finished talking? Sorry.
I don't know. But at the same time, it's like I understand like life can be straining and people go through shit,
Mm-hmm.
but you just gotta look at it in a positive way. It's like you owe yourself. It's the least amount of thing that you owe yourself is that little time that you have. So I mean, you don't know when your time, not to take it in a negative way, you don't know when your time
100%
could
though.
come. You don't know when
Mm-hmm.
your time could come. So
Real
if you're
stuff.
gonna if you're gonna slack on yourself at the moment, and your time was like your time is like a week from now, it's like, bro, okay, you just sacrificed all your potential because you were lazy, and next week you're done.
Yeah, shit sick. Shit's pretty
Like, come
sick.
on, bro. At least leave a memory of like, okay, you know what? He worked his ass off, and
Mm-hmm.
the last few moments he had, you know what I'm saying? He worked towards a bigger goal.
Uh-huh. There we are. There we are. 100%. The way I would piggyback off of that, that's 100% the fact. You don't want to be living in that regret. You don't want to be living in that regret, and then you could have been living in that discipline and really been reaping a way better reward. The thing I
Yeah.
could say about that too is just like literally doing it like one step at a time. Like if I'm come from a job and I'm super drained and I know that I want to either do either whether it's streaming or I want to do something with like ads and websites and clothing brands, things of that nature. I need to, all right, after work, even if I have the slightest energy, what is one thing that I can do right now that is going to put me in a better position to take better action with this subject, whether it be I could keep on taking action with it, or I'm gonna have to come back to it tomorrow, and then after work again tomorrow, and then take better action with it now. So if I want to do YouTube. I want to do YouTube, and I got a draining ass job. When I come back from my draining ass job, I'm probably going to see what is a video I can do with the energy level that I have with with work with where I just came from with work. What energy do I have that I can use that energy and put it into this craft to the slightest? Whether that's I'm going to just do the intro today. I'm just gonna talk about one segment, one part of the video today. I'm just gonna create the channel. I'm gonna create the channel. I'm gonna create the profile picture. I'm gonna create the header, and then I'm gonna come up with an idea for a video tomorrow. So now after work tomorrow, all right, now I could show up a little better. So that's something I would do, so that way, I could be able to get about that rat race vibe too. So
Yeah,
I think we covered that. Another vibe is that we're on to is mindfulness, using meditation, and using movement to literally feel. Just to get more energy or to feel like you are on a higher vibration. So we're just waking up, and then off of the wake up, life shit feels defeating, feels like we're about to do the same shit over again, we're about to go to work again, we're about to get drained and go freaking do hard crazy manual labor, so things of that nature, that as soon as we wake up, these thoughts are hitting us, and now we're already just drained off the rip. We don't even want to take on the day because we know what's about to come with it. Whether we know we're expecting certain BS, we're expecting certain situations to go left already because they were already left yesterday, and now we have to handle them today. Doing either mindfulness meditation or movements throughout the day or in the morning to set the tone right for that. So I'm thinking of mindfulness, being mindful of where our thoughts are going off the rip in the morning. So as soon as I wake up, this is just through programming, and I'm not super perfect. It took me a minute to get right with this. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm just grateful I just woke up. I'm giving gratitude to waking up. I'm super grateful I woke up. This is a new day. It's a new opportunity for me. And if I didn't like the way things went yesterday, I'm about to take better action today, so that way I can enjoy a better today. And that way, now I'm living the life that I want to experience. This isn't a life that, once I wake up, I'm laying down just scrolling, or I'm laying down just thinking this shit is ass. This day's about to be garbage because I didn't experience this yesterday. The same action I took yesterday, I'm not about to take today because I don't want to have the same experiences emotionally, physically than I did have yesterday. So mindfulness, being mindful of, what am I thinking as soon as I get up in the morning? What am I thinking? Am I thinking gratitude? Am I thinking lack? Am I thinking abundance, or am I thinking poverty? Am I thinking opportunity, or am I thinking like victim? I'm screwed. I'm fucked. It's clipped. So being mindful of those thoughts in the morning, I feel could be a big, I'd say a good trajectory to be able to slingshot you into having a way better day and just a way better experience of the day. So what would you say is a good tip when it comes to mindfulness off of the wake up to be able to execute and have a way better day? What would you say it would be?
uh, mindfulness. So I'll say, well, like what you just said earlier, like waking up with gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important. Like I think it's a very crucial way of waking up,
Mm-hmm.
right? You get up, you don't know if your day is promised or not. Obviously, for most, like I'll say, most religious people will say thank you, or even if you're not religious, at least a little gratitude, being happy that you're here still. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Here to be able to move forward, here to be able to create, here to be able to, you know what I'm saying, progress in some way, shape, or form, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Other ways you could practice mindfulness is yeah, just mostly gratitude, being appreciative, um, spreading kindness and love. That's another way of being mindful. Like, you get up, you're grateful that you got up. You go into the kitchen. Oh my gosh, I have coffee. I have coffee. I'm thankful I have this coffee right now.
Yeah.
I have a cup. I have a roof over my head. You know what I'm saying? You can
Mm-hmm.
practice like mindfulness in that way. What else? yeah, that's all I can think of at the
There
moment.
we
Yeah.
go. That's good vibes. And another thing I wanted to put in there is a meditation. So a meditation in the morning could be a good help with organizing certain thoughts or being able to just filter out thoughts that are literally just being awake. They have no type of help to what is about to go on for the day, or they have no type of help for the experience that I'm about to experience for the day. So something like a breathwork meditation, maybe a heart chakra meditation, maybe some type of guided meditation to where I'm having a seat. I got my tongue off the roof of the mouth. I got my jaws unclenched. I'm fully into the moment. I got my attention at my heart, and I'm just there with myself, just practicing having thoughts just flow, having thoughts be like waves, not giving too much weight to thoughts. This is a really big thing for the morning. So now I'm meditating in the morning, thoughts that I would have on run. So this is gonna go bad, that's gonna go bad, this is gonna go left, that's gonna go right. I can sit with myself, have my attention at my heart, and understand that these things are passing by, and that the day is gonna go how I want it to. How I almost not obviously it's not going to go how I want it to go. That was super off, but it'll go towards where I'm leaning towards. And I'll make this as a great example. When I used to be a server, if I was super negative and super pissed off and super like everyone fuck off. Like this life thing is ass. Just like screw off. And then I went in with that energy, bro. I'd be getting negative customers, negative guests. They were coming with complaints, coming with an attitude off the rip already. We just matching frequencies. This is the way I came off in the morning. This is the way I was already coming off in the day. What did I expect? Other than when I got into my super positive vibe and I'm living from the heart and now I'm happy to just be here. I'm really really souped up and I'm coming with a better mindset, better mind frame. Now I'm attracting more positive guests. Now I'm attracting more guests with more stories. It's more genuine vibes. It's more smiles. It's more laughter. Other than less complaints and less just like giving each other attitude. The meditation vibe could really help with filtering out or not even giving too much weight to crazy thoughts that even pop up throughout the day. So I'm going if I go into some sort of job, I didn't filter out anything in the morning. I came straight to work with a rough mind. Susie, she's just having a rough morning. Susie lets it off on me, whatever the case may be. Me, I'm not even thinking this is nothing to take personal. I did nothing to Susie. I just got to work. Susie just tight. But now I didn't do that meditation. I'm amped up. Susie, what it is? Like, let's get right, Susie. Like, what's the vibes? Other than if I was to meditate, I'm cooling. Susie, I understand that life just whooped your ass. One of your demons is just really winning this fight right now, and there's nothing you could do about it. There's something yeah you could do about it, but right now you're not choosing to do nothing about it but project. And that's why even the slightest meditation thing could really help with just having and coming off way calmer. So how would you think meditation could help somebody to have a jump start to having a better day other than waking up with the groggy and on the wrong side of the bed?
Hmm. So I mean, if anyone watching this has ever meditated before, after meditation, like that calmness, that relief you feel, that clarity you also feel, like that's really important. Like especially going though, like throughout your day, especially more importantly, if you have like a really physical like torturing job, right? Let's say you're working like somewhere like a warehouse, like doing meditation in the morning before you go in there can be really helpful, right? Because you could be working there, you have to deal with certain people,
Mm-hmm.
but then you've meditated and you're being mindful at the same time. Like, okay, I'm here. I'm gonna do what I have to do, no
Word.
matter who says this or that. I'm not gonna let it bother me. I'm gonna remain centered. I'm gonna remain still in the moment and just get what I have to do done. And if anyone wants to come at me in a wrong way, right, I can't really blame them for it because they might just be having a bad day at the moment. And I just gotta understand that. Like we all go through that, and I can't really like rebound or give the same energy back because that'll just bring my whole peace of mind to a lower level.
Mm-hmm.
And piggyback on it on the mindfulness, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to give an example from today that it literally just happened a couple hours ago, 12 hours ago, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm in the like the freezer, right? I'm trying to grab the mustard off the top of the shelf.
Okay.
Now, this mustard happens not to be fully closed,
Okay.
so I grab it from the lid. It slips up, bounces off the floor. It's like the shelf or something and hits the floor. It splats. You splattered all over the place. It's on my pants, on my hoodie. Some
Holy
got on my
moly.
face. So at the moment, I was pissed off about it because I'm like, I want to blame someone for it. Like someone clearly didn't close it right. That's
Hmm.
why. That's why that happened. But then I just had to. All I had to do was just walk it off. I walked it off. Went downstairs, changed, put some new clothes on. I said, it is what it is. What can I do about it, right? Ain't nothing I could do about it. If I go yell at somebody, like I know I could do the same mistake. So there's no point of me going out there and arguing with somebody. So going downstairs to change my clothes, right?
Hmm.
It put me in a better mood. I'm like, okay, now I'm in cleaner clothes. I got a fresh hoodie now. I'm warm, I'm comfortable. I'm nice and cleaned up. I'm just gonna go back upstairs and do what I have to do,
There we go.
right?
There you go. You won that fight. Gabe won. Gabe won. Mustard. Zero. Zero to the mustard. There we go. Good vibes. Good energy. That's the way to do it. Let's see what I have next onto this listy wisty. Okay, now we're talking about. We're gonna go back into gratitude, but we're talking about gratitude for what we have,
Go
grat-
ahead.
gratitude for what we have, and gratitude for where we are right now. Right. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get super right into it. So us and human beings, talk to me.
Like, not to cut you off, but let's not forget the movement. You know, remember we were talking about mindfulness, meditation, and movement. Let's not.
Oh, good work. Great work. There we
Let's
go.
not forget the movement.
So now let's go into movement, right? This movement thing is super crucial because this movement thing can really be an accelerator in the morning. This movement thing
Yeah.
is a really big accelerator thing in the morning because if we're talking about working out, which is going to give us those natural jitters to take on the day, this
Yeah.
is going to give us that natural energy to really tackle anything on
Mhm.
throughout the day. Because if we're talking about
Yeah.
working out, we're talking about fighting resistance because we didn't feel like doing it and we didn't feel like pushing through. But since we pushed through and since we actually got it done, now whatever else pops up throughout the day, it isn't really going to be too much for us to take on or be too much on us because I just finished getting a whole bunch of resistance done that I just fought through. That was way harder than this. So this is going to be way lighter than me. Another thing of movement that we're talking about in the morning is yoga. We're talking about yoga is a big thing in the morning to just feeling super centered and just feeling like okay, I'm at a clean slate. I'm at a clean slate mentally. I'm at a clean slate physically with stretching, blood going to where blood wasn't going before, muscles getting stretched where I wasn't stretching before. I'm
Yeah.
not so stiff, and this movement now is taking
More flowy.
stagnant energy that was in some spots. Now it's not so stagnant. Now I feel more flowy, and now I feel better because I don't feel like all blocky, and I don't feel like all blocky. I feel more
Yeah, yeah,
flowy.
yeah.
So that movement is really big with being a natural pick me up in the morning or something that I could get into after a shift, after I just finished working, doing crazy hard manual labor. That movement is going to help me either come back into a piece and then just have my body feel like as one. So how would you say movement is really beneficial for you to take on the day or be able to have you just wind down from a really long day?
Yeah, I would definitely say the stretching yoga part is very essential.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now I wouldn't say I'm a big person on stretching myself. I do it here and there, but my brother is very inspirational to me on that part. He
Mm-hmm.
stretches almost every morning, damn near almost every night.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the discipline alone to do that consistently. It's like pretty impressive. And
Yeah.
I try to like partake in it here and there, but I could definitely say there's benefits to it. Like getting up, getting up, meditating, you getting your mind right already. Then you go ahead and stretch right after. Now, not only your mind is at the right spot. Now your body is more fluid. You're ready to go. You at bro. It's a great thing to practice. Like for anyone out there that might think, oh, you're weird or you're whatever. If you stretch or do these things, I say, why don't you try it for yourself? Instead of labeling it, why don't you give it a try? Stretch here and there, once a day, whatever. Once a day for a week straight, and see how you feel about it. You might
Mm-hmm.
feel it might help you out in some way. You might be more motivated after stretching to do certain things more.
Mm-hmm.
You might be more motivated to do certain things after meditating more.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, health wise, it's just a better thing to do. Like after sleeping for who knows what your schedule is, 8, 9 hours, your body's just still stiff if you don't really move that much. No, know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
after waking up and stretching, that's just I'm saying it's loosening you up, it's
There
getting
we
you
go.
in the right spirits. So that's an important part of it. Another part I could touch on is exercising. Exercising is very important, as we all know. Like um going to the gym, going for a run, things like that are really helpful. Like let's say you're in a stressful moment
Mm-hmm.
and you just need some mental clarity. Most of the time people just tell you, like, think about it, right? Let's say you see someone, you see like a relative arguing. Most of the time when you see that happening, there's gonna be the unc or the elder in there that's gonna say, you go ahead and walk it off,
Yeah.
right? You go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and walk it off. Then that person goes outside, walks it off. He comes back all happy, or I'm saying all relieved and whatnot. He's happy that that walk just helped him calm down. He doesn't have to be so heated in the moment. So that's another benefit to it. So it's movement.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Touching back on the exercising part, I think exercise is just a very important way way of life.
Yeah.
Like longevity is helpful, mentally is helpful, and it's helping your body. Like you don't want to be. I say longevity is a very important thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is why the movement part is very important. Like let's say you're like most people are like 50, 60 nowadays. If you really pay attention, like
Mm-hmm.
you see most of them on like canes, having canes, walkers, and things like that.
100.
Now I don't know what kind of unfortunate situations they might have been through,
Mm-hmm.
but I say if they were more active or moved a lot more
Mm-hmm.
when they were like at the younger age, that probably could have been somewhat of a benefit in a way. But then again, I'm not really too sure on their situation, so that's just my take on that part, the movement part.
Okay. Well, what you're saying with the older and moving around could put them in a better predicament now. Yeah, there are people that did have certain accidents, people that were either born with things or passed
Yeah,
down, whatever the case may be. There
mm,
are people that, as you said, just didn't take that much care of themselves, or coming up they did it and now their body is deteriorating, and that's now the age is a factor into their body because you're 50, you look 50, you're moving 50. You know what I mean? Other than we have people that I totally forgot what this country's name was. I totally forgot what this country's name was, but it was a mainly like a Asian living group of people, like Asian community basically living. It started with like a K. It was super cold, super cold there, and the average lifespan there was like 96. They even had somebody that was like over 90 that was religiously going to play soccer literally every day. People that were around there were like, yeah, this guy's always here, he's always coming to play. And it's because, bro, they did a lot of things. One, their diet was pretty tough. They had a vegetarian diet, that was already one. And two is they did a lot of games and a lot of activities into the community, which their bodies were moving. They're getting these exercises in, and this where I'm talking about is it's older groups of people. Like, it's not really known for younger heads living there. It was older groups of people. I seen this video a minute ago, but I'm certain it's 100% real. I know one key detail I can remember about the place is it was super brick. Like, it was really cold over there. But yeah, you even have people like, yeah, these guys have like freaking millions of dollars to invest in their bodies, but they're investing in their bodies. If we want to go and talk about people like LeBron James and people like Cristiano Ronaldo, they were people that look at the age they're at now, you wouldn't really be expecting them to have where they're highest scoring, or to be averaging the points that they're averaging per game. And it's because why they took really good care of their bodies. And yeah, they have millions to invest in their bodies, but bro, they could be not investing into their bodies. You have people that have millions like them and they watching their bodies deteriorate. Look at Wayne Rooney. If we look at Wayne Rooney now compared to Ronaldo, you know what I mean? Like, the Ronaldo is, I'm actually gonna pop this up onto the thing real quick. Rooney,
that's not, just to put that out there, that's not body shaming, just
it's
so y'all know.
it's not body shaming. What it really is, it's like, okay, let's look at how these two. One, Ronaldo is, I feel like, let me see, let's look up Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney is the age of I can't see this
Like
man's
40,
age.
48, 50.
Let's see Wayne Rooney's age right now. Age. Wayne Rooney is 39 years old. Wayne Rooney is 39 years old, right?
Mhm.
Wayne Rooney's 39. Let's see if I could pop up a photo of Wayne Rooney. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here he is. I'm gonna pop this up and have these guys see it. But this is Wayne Rooney right now, right? Wayne Rooney right now. He's 30. What? He is 39. Now let's go to Cristiano Ronaldo. Right, and this is not body shaming. I actually want to see Wayne Rooney. Oh, you see, here we go. Another one, clear as day. Clear as day. Someone with the same funding. Not same funding. Obviously, Ronaldo probably has a little more because he's invested a little better. But same age as Ronaldo. Same age as Ronaldo. They played around the same exact time. 39 years old. He's 39. Now let's look at Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's crazy.
Someone that's investing into their body, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that, oh, he has the millions to do it. We're talking about just investing into your body in general. Ronaldo is 39 years old. He's the same age as Wayne Rooney. The same age. He's the same age. This is a minute ago. Let's look up. This is right now. This is recent. This is recent. Look at him. Recent. This is recent. Daniel, oh, that was crazy. Daniel, you'll see this on when I put the video out. Let's look. Let's look Saudi. Let's look up Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, Saudi. Let's look up Saudi. And these are 39, and this is why this is taking care of yourself and doing these things that are doing these things that your higher self wants you to do. You know what I mean? Doing these things that your higher self wants you to do. And that's it. That's what it comes down to. So that's the movement aspect of it. Now we're going to get into just being grateful for where we are in today's time and grateful for what we have in today's time, and taking ourselves out of the comparison vibe, taking ourselves out of the regret vibe, and taking ourselves out of the fact of feeling the FOMO that we're not doing enough, when reality, when most of us, I'm not, obviously there is some of us that do know better. Not nobody that's in this podcast. This don't pertain to us right here. There's are people that do know better when it comes to showing more gratitude for where they are. They know better to do it, but they choose to just stay into the comparison, stay into the envious thing, and being more grateful for where you are now. Because think about it, 5, 10 years ago, you were literally thinking and praying and hoping for the things that you have in today's time. You were literally hoping, praying, thinking these things that you had in today's time. Yo, Jeffrey, we see you popped in. Just turn that camera on when you can, so we don't have it looking all blocky, looking in the when we put the video up. But yeah, these people that are not showing gratitude for where they at right now. So let's say 5 years ago, I would just put it into myself to give the credential of it and not to be sound like I'm just chatting. 5 years ago, when I was just learning, to trade, I was like, oh, I can't wait until I'm able to give signals. I can't wait until I have a group chat. I can't wait until I could post a video of me doing a before and after. I kept thinking about these things the first day. I was getting put on to train. I was thinking about it. I was like, I cannot wait. I can't wait till I'm sniping. I can't wait till I could just predict everywhere this thing is going, right? And then besides the trading, now let's get into mindset. I was thinking, oh, I can't wait until I'm in the mindset of I'm more positive. I'm in the mindset I'm not as negative. I'm in the mindset of where I'm a lot more grateful for where I'm at and not compared to myself to, and I'm not always comparing myself to where I want to be, or not thinking of myself in the past at all. So thinking of, oh, what was it that I asked for that I have now? Oh, I asked for this skill. I could do that skill now. I asked for this peace of mind. I have that peace of mind now. And that is being grateful for where I'm at now, being grateful for where we're at now, and killing the comparison thing, killing the, obviously we're thinking towards, and we want to really be on a perspective to where we're really thinking of future. And I super understand that. I think about my future self here and there, but if I'm doing what I got to do right now, then that's going to work out. That's 100% going to work out. I just got to be grateful for where I'm at right now, and then doing what I got to do right now, and having that gratitude, because being grateful right now is going to give you more things to be grateful for. So what would you say, Daniel, what would you say is something that, being able to be grateful way more in a day-to-day base? Like, what is something that can help you to, how can that help you to feel better throughout the day, get more done throughout the day, being grateful?
Well, huh. I say the most important one of gratefulness is like just waking up. It's by itself. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's like, what can you be more grateful for than that alone? That, like, think about it. That alone is a gift beyond any gift. Anyone could give. I could give you $1 billion right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I offer you $1 billion just for one, Would you take $1 billion for the rest of your life, right? $1 billion for the rest of your life, but then in the span of, I say, what, the span of 24 hours, that's all you got that $1 billion for. Or you work the rest of your life trying to make that $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Waking up every day in good health and good spirit. So which one would you pick?
I'm picking the good health and good spirit.
Exactly. That's
100%.
sleep. That its own is like, it's very essential. Like I
Hmm.
say, just being grateful enough to wake up. It's one of the best things ever, bro. I mean, let's be honest, bro. Like we've, like, not to be like down a little bit. We've lost a friend,
Hmm.
and I'm pretty sure like that kind of put us in a low kind of low vibrational kind of way,
Hmm.
and it also made us more appreciative of our own like day-to-day basis, just waking up. Like, not only that, like things like simple things like, shut up, Bernard, man.
I got it
All right,
on deck. I
Yes.
got it
all
on
right,
deck.
all right, Bernard, man.
Hmm.
Um, and just another thing, like simple things like just having a cell phone. Like you gotta be grateful for that. Not a
Hmm.
lot of people have that.
Real
Things
stuff.
like
Right.
even fresh, clean water.
Hmm.
Like you gotta be grateful for that. Like it could be the littlest thing you could really be grateful for. I'm grateful for even having my hair. Some people are going bald at my age,
Hmm.
feeling insecure about that. But
Real
I still
stuff.
have mine. So I'm grateful for that. Like things like even going out, having a job. Bro, there are people that have studied 20, not even 20, 12, 18 plus years. They went through high school, college, middle school. They even took extra master classes and still can't find jobs. And you got people that barely even did half of that, barely did half of that, and got a job.
It's not
You
funny.
gotta be, you gotta be grateful, bro. You gotta be grateful for everything. Honestly, grateful for breathing. Bro, people are in the hospital struggling. They need oxygen tanks just to breathe. You gotta be grateful for your just
Because
having feet to walk, bro. Some people are crippled, can't walk no more. Grateful for your eyes that you can see. Grateful for that. Like just being alive alone, like you really just gotta be grateful. It,
Okay.
'Cause it's easy. It's very easy. Like I'm not gonna sit here and like it's, oh, it's the easiest thing to just be grateful all the time. Like there's a lot of shit that whoop your ass mentally.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
getting up, you go to work. Somebody tells you some shit, and it gets into your mind. All right, already you're off being grateful. You're off being like positive in a way. You're in some
Hmm.
negative vibe. But if you're grateful that, you know what I'm saying, you were even able to be here to be with this person at the time, like you could see that in a positive light, right?
Hmm.
And
100%.
speaking more on gratitude, I mean, you could really branch gratitude in a lot of different ways, but essentially you just gotta be in a way happy with what you have. Like you gotta be happy with what you have and happy for what's coming, also, and also be happy with the progress that you are making. Though for some it might be a lot at the moment, for some it might be very little. Like us, right now, that's this podcast. I'm
Hmm.
grateful that we started. I've been excited since yesterday, since we were talking about it.
There we
I'm
go.
grateful that we're here. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that Jeffrey was able to join us today.
Hmm.
Welcome in, Jeffrey.
After
You know,
40 minutes.
nah, it's because so Katie's sister came to surprise us with the news of the
mhm,
pregnancy.
okay.
So like, and I have to make sure I did not know at all. Otherwise, if she knows I know, then she's gonna be mad at Katie. But then after that happened, then she came with her boyfriend. She came with the two brothers. So it was just like a nice little vibe until I came and was able to join you guys.
Yeah, good vibes, good vibes. Yeah, just so you know, you'll hear the episode. We I think since you had tapped in, we have been on for 40 minutes. We talked on managing and watching thoughts. We talked on using
Hmm.
obstacles as opportunities. We also
Mhm,
spoke on mindfulness. We spoke on meditation. We spoke on movement.
yep,
And now we're on the gratitude of the daily life. So Jeffrey,
right.
how does showing gratitude, Jeffrey, how does that show, or how is showing gratitude help you to have a nice slingshot, a catapult, be able to take on the rest of the day ahead?
Honestly, if you really don't have gratitude in your day, period, and you're starting off your day, you're not gonna start your day off strong at all. Honestly, like Gabe was touching base on, you really gotta be grateful for everything you have. Honestly, like you can't just be trying to be envious towards other people who have more because You know, you got at the end of the day, you gotta realize they put in the work. They put in extra work. You not know what their work was. You cannot judge a book by its cover and just say, yeah, he didn't put no work in for that shit. Nah, they put in a lot of work to get where they gotta be at. So if you want to obtain that, you gotta do it as well, and you gotta be grateful that what you start off with now, the journey that you're starting off with, and the path that you're going to go towards to get to that lifestyle, you're going to appreciate the journey. That's gratitude right there. Just appreciate the journey, but you shouldn't think so far. You should stay like think one step at a time, one day at a time. Take each day conquering a challenge within your day. Honestly, just conquering one of those challenges within a day, you're gonna get more grateful and grateful because you're like, I can do it. I really can do it. I really can do this shit. So I feel like to start off the day on a grateful note, you really just gotta shit. I don't know. I'm grateful for coffee in the morning, so I'm really grateful for
Good.
honestly
There
everything
we go.
I
There we
have.
go. There you go.
So I
That's a
can't.
grateful vibe.
All right, can
Yeah,
I give a little just a little one more touch on that before we
yeah.
like
Go
move on
ahead.
to the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I picked up a little point that Jeffrey was talking about. He said, put in the being grateful for like them being grateful for the work they put in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mhm.
us, the person, like the other person, not knowing what kind of work they put in to get to that towards that present moment, right?
Right.
Just to touch up on that a little bit, I definitely agree with that. Like, just you got to be grateful for where you're at in the moment, because you just don't know where your destination is than the other
Right.
person. Like
Mm-hmm.
that person could be at the point where he's satisfied and really like okay with where he's at. Like that's he doesn't want to really expand beyond that, and you being envious in a way and not being grateful for your journey might kind of like in a way slow you down on
Right.
your walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're more grateful about where you are and where you might be ending up at, you know what I'm saying? That might just speed up the process in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This person might end up being a business owner, like a small business owner. He might be happy with that. But your plans and your eventual like evolution or your final moments or like let's say your destiny might be like a CEO of some like big
Right.
corporation or something like that, you know? And you just gotta practice gratitude in that way. Practice gratitude with family, just being having family around. Like I'm happy that I have you guys around, so I could like talk to you guys about certain things. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people
Right.
don't have that. You gotta be grateful for that. Grateful for um, what else? Grateful for just having a home, man. Just being, I mean, honestly, just just be grateful to be alive, bro.
Yeah,
That's
hundred,
that's really
hundred.
just it, bro. Like essentially, it's just being grateful to be alive. Cause that's
Mm-hmm.
take out everything else. Don't take it out. But if you take out everything else we've said, well, the most important thing is just being grateful that you're here. Cause that's the only way you can move forward. If you're not
Oh,
here, then that's it. That's where
There
the
we
story ends.
go. Be grateful. Give you more things to be grateful for. So now we're going on to emotional intelligence, understanding and managing. Let me see. I can't read what I wrote here. Emotional intelligence, understanding and managing emotions, improving relationships, and self growth. So let's go on with I would say emotional intelligence. I feel like even in today's time, I definitely need a little help with emotional intelligence if I'm being super honest. Let's look up the definition of emotional intelligence and then let's get into it there to see on how we could apply emotional intelligence into our day-to-day life to make us have a better experience and get closer to our higher selves. So the definition of emotional intelligence is to be able to perceive and understand and manage one's own emotions and relationships. So for me, right, if I'm being super honest, I definitely am when it comes to my emotional intelligence, I feel like it's super off. Like it's almost like I don't even know. Like I don't know. I wouldn't say like pretty bad, but I don't even really even have a grasp of emotional intelligence to even begin with. You know,
Yeah.
like
to
on
measure it. Right.
yeah, to like even be like to say where would my point of view be with it? Because I would say like emotional intelligence when I wake up, I'm pretty fine. As long as I'm showing gratitude to whatever I got to do, and as long as I'm doing what I have to do emotionally, I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty able to manage, my anger, or be able to manage me staying calm, or whatever the case may be. If I'm thinking emotional intelligence, in which my answer and definition could be 100% correct, incorrect, because emotional intelligence is the only thing I even have on this list that I'm slightly off about. But if I was to say and give a way that I could use emotional intelligence to have me have a better day and be able to take better action throughout the day, it says you literally just monitor or make sure I'm not dwelling into too much anger. I'm not dwelling into too much negativity, because if I do dwell into these things, now I'm tight. Now I'm angry. Now everything I'm doing is almost not as efficient, because I have energy in anger and I got energy into doing what I'm doing. Other than I'm have most of my energy and most of my focus on doing what I'm doing. It's not towards so much of my emotion. So maybe me being emotionally intelligent is me knowing that I shouldn't be giving so much weight to these thoughts that are just going to weigh me down. I could take my energy from there and then use it towards doing what I have to do, and knowing that, okay, I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be feel way better to do what I have to do, because I'm emotionally intelligent. I ain't getting fucked over in my noggin or just giving mad energy to things that are beating me in. So how would you say, Daniel, how would you say emotional intelligence and applying emotional intelligence can help you catapult for the day ahead, and help you to show up as your higher self for the day that you're about to experience?
All right. This one's a little.
Yeah,
All
who are
right.
you telling? This is
Um,
the only one I felt like I was a little shaky with,
so,
but yeah, talk to me.
all right. Emotional intelligence. All right. Identifying and what did it say? Identifying and managing one's emotions. Okay. I would say I would say I have somewhat of emotional intelligence. I wouldn't say mine is like where it needs to be, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still a work in progress. I could definitely point out when I'm being judgmental sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
someone might behave a certain way, and in my head I might like criticize a person in a way out of like maybe it could be maybe anger or
Mm-hmm.
annoyance in a way. I don't know, but I could definitely notice when like I'm doing certain things like that, and I try to just come back to the present, like don't dwell in that emotion or that thought process, because obviously that's not a good thing. Um, what else? What else can I put in there? Managing things like anger is very crucial. Like you don't want to spite on people, or like you know in a way you don't want to what's the word I'm looking for, bash someone out of like the heat of the moment. Let's say you had an argument and whatnot, and someone said something wrong that you didn't like. Now you could really sit there, take a minute or two to really like process what's going on, and then give your opinion on the statement. That's another way of emotional intelligence to me.
Okay.
um what else? Yeah, anger. Um, all I say is that how what would you what emotion would you put judgmental, like being judgeful of people? What emotion would you tag with that?
If I was to even give that an emotion for real, I would just say literally, as you just said, literally in a state of just being judgmental. I feel like if we're talking about judgment, it's just being judgmental. If is that what you would go towards? Because if that's an emotion, I wouldn't really say or classify it as an emotion. Because I could be angry as hell and then be envious of somebody, or I could be sad as hell and being envious of somebody. It's all perspective, but in hindsight, me and you both know that it's a that the envier thing or the comparing thing is just literally you ain't even envy or jealous of the other person. It really is, oh, I see what this person is doing, and if I do feel a certain way about it, oh, it's because I could either be there closer, or I see what this person is doing and I know that, oh, I could show up a little better and receive that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
if I was to give emotional intelligence anything closer to the word envy or jealousy, it would just be that, oh, I would know that I wouldn't be able to give it an emotion, because you could do it mad, you could do it sad, you know.
I got you.
That would be my take on it.
How
Yeah, I
about you,
see what you
Griffin?
mean. Uh, No, yeah. What Tafari said actually makes a lot of sense. Judgmental is like a attitude, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not really an emotion, but when conquering being judgmental towards other people, it's honestly pretty simple, more simple than you think. Um, when I hear judgmental, I think like you're trying to judge someone on how they appear or what they did or something like that. Um, in order to conquer that, you really just gotta be what is it called? Empathetic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And being empathetic would mean like being in their shoes. You know, you gotta think to yourself like, okay, this person may look like this way, but you don't know why he looks that way. Or this person may did that, but you don't know why he did that. Now, I feel like that's the only really good way to kind of conquer judgment, being judgmental, honestly speaking.
Mhm.
And then
Um,
there's a. Are you done speaking? My fault.
Oh, you good? You good? Yeah, you go.
And then there's the way of where it could be you either judging the person or it could be you're judging the action. For
Right.
me in today's time, I really do not judge like the person or anybody because I just think like you had different experiences that are shaping your perspective. But if I see that you are on BS and you are doing an action of crazy lower vibration and you keep continuing to do this action of lower vibration, now I gotta see what's going on in your noggin because you definitely know better because you keep on experiencing BS from doing this lower vibrational thing. So what's driving you to still take this lower vibrational action if you know that you're about to experience something bad? Now I
mhm.
gotta look at the person. I gotta say what's going on in your noggin, what's going on in your heart that you feel like this is still correct. You don't feel no need to change this. So that's that aspect. Uh,
Can I get back on that a little bit?
talk to me.
So in that aspect as well, right? I say so I thought of the word programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very like crucial in the emotional intelligence part. Like think about it from like when you were raised as a kid, like to things like your teacher taught you. Oh, if someone behaves this way, he's this type of person. If someone does this, they're this type of person. So subconsciously, we've been like taught and programmed. We've been-
JW Mike,
Oh
you
no,
muted.
you guys okay? I mean you probably just have to turn him down. J Dub, I love you,
Uh,
but we're doing a podcast, so I definitely did turn you all the way down as soon as we joined. But unless you guys probably have to do the same.
hold on one second. Eh, Sorry, Jay.
But J Dub, right
Oh,
after this
but
podcast, we back on timing.
All right, so what was I saying? Programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom, programming from like being a child, being taught this or behave this way, that way, and that and the third, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even something as simple as like, oh, like let's use our community as a example. Like
Mm-hmm.
we as black people, if you see someone sagging their pants or just a little bit, oh, he's so a thug or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, we as a person, I mean, where we are right now, we obviously have the awareness and the consciousness enough to not do certain things or say certain things or reprogram ourselves in a certain way where we're not coming off as judgmental, right? We don't. If you see someone with a shiesty on and it's like two -2 degrees outside, you don't
Mm-hmm.
think he's about to go murk somebody. It's freaking birth outside. That's what's going on.
Hundred
You know what I'm
percent.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or a situation where it's like let me see a person might wear like let's say a man painting his nails. Some people might think he's more on the feminine side,
Mm-hmm.
but that might just be what he likes. He could be he could be aki as shit, strongest bodybuilder ever. He probably got like what blue fucking paint on his nails and whatnot,
Hundred
but
percent.
he doesn't have to be feminine to do that. That's just what he likes.
Okay.
That's coming from like a judgmental um um aspect which we've been programmed. So emotional intelligence is it definitely takes a lot of awareness and in a way reprogramming of the mind because certain things are not what you essentially want to do. It's just what you've been taught to and you've been programmed to. So you gotta be mindful of that and like pay attention to it in a certain way, then correct those mistakes. And slowly, I think if people just practice that more, like knowing that okay, it's not really what you think, it's what you've been like programmed of you seen been done over and over again. and just detach from that in a way, we could better, better recognize the emotions and identify it as this, that, and the third. And that's
Alrighty.
just my take on that.
I want to
Alrighty.
add on to that. Um, so actually, if, another way is actually a way we already spoke about, gratitude. So honestly, being in a relationship or even having a younger brother, sister, anybody that you take care of, I feel like a great way to practice being grateful, non-judgmental or anything like that, is to like try to be appreciative 100% of what you have. For example, being in a relationship, it really can open up your mind to like being in I guess it would possibly increase your emotional intelligence because you're dealing with another being. You're dealing like with someone that you just completely just started knowing. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you just started knowing that person, and now you have to build trust, relationship. You cannot judge them. You gotta like be a certain in a certain love frequency, if that makes sense. You gotta really be loving and appreciative of the person in front of you.
Yeah.
So honestly, that I feel like gratitude and being judgmental can go hand in hand and help each other, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and a portion of the emotional intelligence part, I wouldn't say my emotional intelligence is like good. Like if there was a scale from low emotional intelligence to high intelligence, I wouldn't say mine's just a high. Like I wouldn't say I'm the best of it. I would say like I'm pretty low at it as well because I'm still trying to manage my emotions when it comes to things and look from an outer perspective, which is
Mm-hmm.
pretty hard. Which is pretty hard because like Gabe said, we've been programmed to a certain degree that this is automatic, and now we got to really reprogram ourselves to really found out and relearn that hey, this is something that we shouldn't do off of like the uh I wouldn't say the reaction of nature because honestly we would react that way, but we wouldn't we would be able to manage it and control it in a better way.
Okay. There
um
we go.
the- so that's really my take. That's all I really want to add on to that though.
All right, there we go. There we go. So
Great
let's
eye. That's a
see.
great eye.
I like that too. Let's see. What do we have here next left? To be honest with you, that was literally the last vibe. Emotional intelligence was the last vibe. So
That was a good one.
that does wrap up the entire episode. This episode for our first vibe was 1 hour and 4 minutes. Talk to me,
One
Daniel.
second. 1 second. Hold on. I know we did emotional intelligence. I just wanted to kick back a little bit on the understanding emotion part. Right.
Okay.
Uh Sorry, I know we were about to leave and we probably psyched some people out, but just wait up 1 second. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And just give me a little longer of your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right,
Um
speechless.
so understanding emotions. Um
Hmm.
as grown adults, we obviously need to know when certain things are like bothering us in a way. Like let's take a little further, like working at your job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know when like if your manager says, oh, go do this, right? And we're probably not in the best mood, so that probably flips our switch on our head and we want to just crash out or do something like that, right? We gotta
Right.
understand that, okay, this is what's going on. I'm upset. I get it. Him being upset just made me more upset, and now I had either way I gotta go do what I have to go do. So now you could either understand that, okay, I'm angry at the moment, and being angry is not gonna get whatever I need to get done quicker. So we either have to come back to the present, take some deep breaths, let it go, or you go ahead in that angry moment and do what you have to do and probably potentially mess up, then to potentially have to redo what you just did, all right, which will just suck even more. And speaking more in the understanding emotions, um, well, bro, emotion itself is like it's a tricky topic, honestly, because it's like just like what we're doing right now, right? I'm pretty sure um some of us were probably like tired or whatnot, didn't probably want to show up. I mean, I was excited to be here, right?
Hey, I
But
set the tone. I had everything ready.
but,
You
but
go
yeah,
on.
like even that by itself, like. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be honest, cause hold on, I'm stuttering. I'm gonna be honest, right? I
Mm,
was I was a little tired. I was a little tired coming in, but I was excited for the most part. I was excited. That's why I was definitely happy to be here.
mm.
Definitely happy to put my inputs. I really hope that we helped some people in some way, shape, or form. I definitely know that we gave some good points. We gave different perspectives, which could
100%.
really help some people out. So
I agree.
if you're watching this, I'm happy that you took your time out of your day to share with us and watch our podcast. Um, I don't really have anything much else to say, but thank you for watching. You know, thank you for spending your time with us. You could have been doing a whole lot of different things right now. You could be investing in yourself. You could be meditating. You could be with your spouse, your family. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing some way different, but you took your time. You pulled up. You checked out the podcast. Episode one, TakeSpace podcast. Let's go.
Think it's gonna run
Let's
up.
go.
One thing before we do wrap it off, this is the last message. Even if you got another message, I ain't even letting you say it. But for the most part, with the emotional intelligence thing, like what he has said, and with dealing with anyone, understand that one, don't take anything personal. People fighting demons, people going through things, and that they're going to use it and they're going to try to project it on you. And it's up to you whether it's hard, whether it's difficult. This is going to be the start of it for you to be emotionally intelligent enough to understand that you did nothing to that person. You did nothing to whoever the case may be for them to be projecting whatever they're projecting on you. And you need to be able to bring your attention to your heart, stay calm, and then be able to just stay and remain in your own energy. That is the greatest and the biggest flex. Is even when there's a crazy storm around you, even when there's a bunch of things going on around you, how well are you going to be able to stay in your energy, be able to keep your calm, be able to just remain yourself and not lower your vibration because somebody else is lowering their vibration directly at you. You need to be able to stand into your power, be able to have your aura remain super strong and not be able to have and be able to observe without absorbing. You know, you need to be able to see a situation and understand that I don't need to let the situation affect me super crazy. This can be a situation to where it happens and I let it flow. I don't need to sit here and put so much weight onto this situation. It's the same thing with negative thoughts, bad thoughts. There's no need to be given all these thoughts so much weight that it's just draining you way more. You need to become way more emotionally intelligent to be able to let these things pass. And now I know what thoughts to be able to give my energy to so that way I could go on about the day with more energy and get my day done. But as Daniel said, that's the last